Salutations everyone, this is Razor here giving you another movie review where today I'm going to be going over The Host, the newest installment of the Twilight Saga. So as you can imagine, my hopes and expectations for this movie were not very high. The previews didn't look good, the story looked not very promising. But this movie did come at a bit of a surprise, in all honesty. What this movie is about, I'm not going to try to give out spoilers, but maybe I might divulge too much information if you are completely planning on seeing this movie or not, which I don't understand why many people would. Um, just based off of how it's been advertised. But regardless, uh, this film it's basically an alien invasion movie, right? Where it's kind of like the Yerks, where these aliens are parasites they get inside of a human and in this host body and just take control of them. And that's how these aliens works. They go from world to world, take control of humans. Not necessarily a war type conquering alien as you might expect, but more sort of, oh, we know better than you, and you don't treat your planet and your own species correctly, so we're just going to take over and make everything better. And, try to survive and move on to the next planet. It's one of those kind of aliens. And what happens here is a girl gets taken over at the very beginning of the film. She gets taken over by one of these alien parasite thingies. But she's fighting back. One of those love is stronger than anything bull crap kind of a thing. Because she just has to get back to her boyfriend that she's hardly really knows, and oh my gosh, we may be some of the last humans alive, so let's make out all the time. Really contrived. This movie, believe it or not, would have been a lot better if they didn't have this love story involved, because the whole premise of this is kind of interesting, almost, because the most interesting character in the story is the actual alien who has taken over this girl's body, known as the Wanderer. Although there's a lot of inconsistencies with the alien behavior that is not explained correctly, some stuff you can figure out by yourself. But you have to like assume a lot of things in order for this film to make sense. It would be a decent movie to do like a mystery science theater thing, kind of, and just make fun of all of the plot holes and things that they left unexplained. But this movie would have been a lot better if they didn't have this stupid, quirky, nonsense teenage high school love story contrived by one of the most atrocious writers of our time that is completely insanely popular and might be the female version of Nicholas Sparks for all we know if this trend continues to happen of all of her books turning into movies. But this movie would have been a lot better if it weren't for the romance, just by the whole interactions of the aliens with the humans. How the aliens are not an aggressive race, and how the humans are warlike, and they have really strong emotions and stuff, and it's starting to take over this one host who, the aliens aren't used to all of their abductions failing, and that part of the story is kind of interesting, and how the host alien, the Wanderer, or as it is known as Wanda, how she interacts with her host, Melanie, the girl whose body she's taken over, who only she can hear in her head. And that is really the most interesting part of the film. The whole stupid teenage love story thing totally gets in the way. They waste a perfectly good opportunity to make a decent film by throwing all this love crap in there. But like, oh, I'm so in love with this hot-looking guy, and every single dude in the whole film is an Abercrombie and Fitch model. Go figure. Stephanie Meyer movie, not pulling any punches there. The whole Team Edward, Team Jacob bull crap makes another reappearance, and it's just really annoying. There's a lot of things that pop in this movie. It's like, really that character would do that, or there's a lot of things that just don't make a lot of sense. The acting isn't that great. William Hurt is all right. The main actress Melanie does a pretty decent job, especially since most of her acting has to be a confused, rather almost emotionless alien who begins to like start feeling things as the story progresses. She does a decent job. There's absolutely no chemistry between any of these actors. All of the like kissy lovey-dovey scenes are very contrived and have no depth to it whatsoever. But it's a very watchable movie. I didn't find myself at any point being like super bored, surprisingly, and really despising the film. It was very watchable, and you wanted to see where the story was going to go. It is predictable for the most part, but that doesn't really take away a lot of this, a lot of the story as you would expect from this kind of teen romance, paranormal drama kind of stuff that we've seen risen to popularity over the past few years. And this might continue the trend depending how well it does in the box office. I don't see it doing very well because of uh, how it's been advertised, but who knows? The Twilight crowd might just have this one knock it out of the park with a couple 100 million. But who's really to know? Um, they don't have any like big heartthrob named actors in there. They might be in the future because they're all Abercrombie and Fitch models, but we'll see how it does in the box office. I was going to this movie not expecting much, and came out with it a little bit more than I thought that I would. It was slightly entertaining. It was frustrating and very inconsistent, especially when it came to the aliens and how their nature was explained and how it changed throughout. Some of it was you were able to follow, but also a lot of it you have to take with a grain of salt that they just have to have the story progress and the fact that a no talent author wrote this book. I didn't read the book obviously, so that the book might be better. I mean, as it always is. Even with those Twilight fans, they say that the book is better, and no reason not to believe them. But still, the movie falls flat on many different surfaces and would have been a much better film without the whole love thing getting in the way. It would have been better instead of the main character dealing with a boyfriend if it was dealing with like an older sister. I mean, there is like a younger brother that she has to deal with, both the alien and the sister or the Melanie. But I don't know. It's not as shallow as it seems on the surface, but wastes an opportunity at telling an actual story worthwhile telling, while the whole love thing kind of takes center stage and takes over. Rather predictable, but not too bad on the surface. It's very watchable. Overall, it was okay, but definitely not one of the greater movies that's going to come out this year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and what movie you would like to see me review next, and I will see you guys next time.